Hey guys, it's Coach Bonnie. This is Coach Todd. We're at home during the quarantine, sheltering in place. We're gonna do it's a easy to moderate flow. There are many variations that you can do to each movement. We will have another video available next to this one on our website that you can access to see some of those variations. If you want to do some modifications to some of the moves, you're gonna be following what I do. And otherwise, if you want to do the traditional movements for the poses that I call, you can follow Todd. If there's any movement that's causing any discomfort, you need to come out of that movement. You need to find a place where you have comfort and take care of yourself. When I'm explaining some of the poses, you need to use that time just to get deeper into your pose. If you already know it, if you have experience in yoga, use your breath and use your knowledge of that pose to get deeper into it. Use that time to challenge your muscles for endurance, okay? Any other questions you might have about this, again, tune into the other video that we post that will have some explanations about modifications. So we're gonna get started in child's pose. Todd's gonna have his knees wide, his big toes to touch. He has a blanket under his knees because he has more bony prominence to that area for him. I won't need one, so I'm going to have knees wide, big toes to touch. Before we get started, if you want to have music playing, please do so. We chose not to play music during the video so that you could hear us, and so you could just choose your own music that fits your own flow that you want for today. So, knees are wide, big toes to touch. You're gonna reach out onto your mat, bring the sit bones back to those heels. Sink your chest into that mat. You're gonna be breathing here. Try to elongate your breaths. You can rest your forehead on the mat. Lengthen your inhales. Lengthen those exhales. Set your intention for this class. For this practice, try to keep your mind just in the present moment. All you have to think about right now is you and your mat and your body and how wonderfully it has been made to move and to work and to operate. So really just celebrate how you can move on your mat, and that's all that matters for these next minutes that we do this practice. So with each exhale, your chest is going to sink into the mat. Feel a little bit of that stretch in your shoulders. On your inhales, you can push yourself back a little bit, getting those sit bones closer to those heels. But there's no expectation here. Just find out where you have that comfort in this child's pose and stay there for a few breaths. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, you're gonna walk your hands out to the right side. You can bring that left hand over the right, really feeling that stretch along the left side of the body. Push that left hip out towards the left as you're reaching your hands over to the right. You can gaze underneath that left bicep, underneath the left armpit. Breathe into that space. On your next exhale, you're going to come back center, find that child's pose, sink deeper into that mat, just let it go. Inhale here, and on your exhale, you're gonna walk those hands off to the left side of the mat. You can bring that right palm over the left hand. away, out to the right. Really breathe into that space along the right side. You can gaze underneath that right tricep. Inhale here, exhale, come back to the center. One more breath in. Pause at the top, long exhale out. When you're ready, stack those shoulders over those hands and wrists. We're coming into a tabletop. You have your hips over your knees. Knees are hip width apart. Hands are shoulders apart. You're going to stay here in this neutral spine, this tabletop position. What we'll do is we're going to inhale, fill that belly with air as you come up to cow. Bring the crown of your head up, tailbone is up. Let the belly fall. Inhale here, exhale, push into the mat, round out that spine, tuck that chin. This is cat, that cat back. Going back and forth, we're going to inhale up to cow. Exhale, push that mat away, round out that back to cat. Moving in and out of cow at your own pace, breathing into cow, exhaling out to cat. Find that neutral spine. We're going to get some side body stretches along our transverse plane here. We're going to reach up with the right hand, follow it with your gaze. Inhale here. You're going to exhale, thread that hand through. You can keep that hand hovering. We're going to go back and forth. Inhale, bring that right hand high. Exhale, come down, thread that right hand through. Inhale it up. Exhale through. One more time. Inhale that hand high. Exhale, bring that hand through. Come back to center. Bring that right hand back where it was. We'll kind of neutralize that spine. Inhale up to cow. Exhale down to cat. Push that mat away. Neutral spine. We're going to go to the other side with that reach and thread, reaching up with the left hand. Inhale here. Exhale, thread it through to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale up high. Exhale, thread it through. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, thread it through. You're going to notice some differences on either side of your body. You're going to come back center. We're going to tuck those toes. We're going to push into our hands, tuck the toes. You're going to lift that tailbone up, come into that first down dog. You're going to walk out your dog, meaning just go ahead and pulse those feet, let those knees bend, alternate knee bends. I want your head hanging heavy between your biceps. I might lift my head every once in a while to carry my voice to you. Hang that head heavy. Your chest is going to be coming back to the thighs. When you find stillness in your dog, bringing both heels to the ground or close to the ground, think about bringing a bend into the knees to tip that tailbone up. Really getting that posture in the back that we want with a down dog. You want to tip the tailbone up. And then from here, work on straightening those legs eventually. And that might not be today. It's okay. Find that down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, walk your feet up to the behind your wrists and your hands. You're going to hang heavy in a forward fold. I'm going to take off a layer as I'm getting warmed up. So in your forward fold, I'm going to turn to the side. Again, you have a nice bend in the knees, generous bend. You want to kind of rock forward onto the toes. You're going to hang heavy. You can grab opposite elbows. Kind of sway in here, sway with the hips. Still warming the body up with some movement. Hang the head heavy. Staying here. You can let your arms go heavy. Think about bringing those feet closer together. I'm going to heel ball toe my feet together before we go into our first sun A. Bringing the toes to touch, a little sliver of light between the heels. I'm still in my forward fold. My knees are still bent. I'm rocking forward onto my toes a little bit here. Now I'm going to try and just extend into a full forward fold. I'm going to extend my knees, hanging heavy. We're going to start our sun A. I want you to inhale, halfway lift. You're pushing those shins away. You're flattening out that back. Even your C-spine here. Everything's in line. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to mountain pose. You're going to turn those pinkies in towards you, dropping your shoulders down your back. Your glutes are turned on. Think about being tall here. Looking up just a little bit. We're going to exhale, hands heart center. Relaxing the shoulders. Revisit that intention for class, for this practice. It's just about your movement, the mat, and that you're just using this body, that you can move and you can be strong. That's all that matters right now. Inhale up to mountain. Doing some side bends. We're going to exhale. Bring the right hand down. Reach to the right with that left hand. Bringing in all this space on the left side of the body again. Good. We're going to inhale up to mountain. We're going to exhale to the left side this time. Reaching down with the left. Over with the right. Breathe into the space, side body. After your exhale, you're going to inhale back up to mountain. We're going to exhale, hands heart center, making sure your knees are together, your feet are together. We're coming down to chair. You're going to tuck that tailbone under. You're shortening the front side of the body between the pelvis and the ribs while keeping that heart shining through. You have your hands here. You can also reach up if it helps you shine that heart through. Hands are heart center. Your toes can flutter up because your weight is back on your heels and chair. Staying here, breathe in, out. Try to sink a little deeper if you can. Squeeze those knees together, tuck that tailbone. In here, out. You can come out of this at any point and then come back. All right, we're gonna exhale. On our next inhale, you're gonna come up. We're gonna twist to the right. You're reaching back with your right hand, forward with your left, square your hips. I don't want them turning out here. Hips are square. Breathe in and out. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale down to chair. Hands heart center. Knees are squeezing. Stay here again. Good. We're going to inhale up, twist left. Right arm is forward, left arm is back. Hips aren't twisting out. We want them square. Staying here. Breathing in, out. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, forward fold. All the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga flow. This means we're going into high plank. Follow Todd for the traditional chaturanga. Going into high plank, I'm going to tap my knees. I'm going to do a reverse push-up here, down to chaturanga. Inhale up to upward dog if your knees are up. Cobra if your knees are down. I'm going to push back into child's pose. Todd is going to go straight back into downward dog. I will tuck my toes and meet Todd in downward dog. Going back through sun A. We're going to look to our hands. You're going to walk, step, or jump behind your hands. You're going to exhale into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Push those shins away. Exhale, forward fold. Hang heavy. Inhale, all the way up to mountain. Exhale, hands come heart center. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, reach to the right. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, reach to the left. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale, hands come heart center to chair. Rocking back on those heels, tailbone is tucked. Inhale here. Exhale. On your next inhale, we're coming up to that twist to the right side. Square those hips. Exhale, back down to chair. Inhale here. Exhale. On your next inhale, you're coming to the left side twist. Square those hips. Good. Exhale down to chair. Inhale, up to mountain. Exhale, chaturanga flow. All the way full down. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sorry Todd, now chaturanga high plank or knees down. You're going to do that reverse push-up chaturanga, cobra or upward dog, knees on or knees off. Then push back to downward facing dog your way. I'm going to tuck my toes. One more time through, look to your hands. Walk, step, or jump as you're getting warmed up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands come heart center. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale to the right. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale to the left. Inhale up to mountain. Exhale down to chair, hands come heart center. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Inhale, twist right. Exhale, back to chair. Inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, back down to chair. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Let everything go. Let it roll off your back. Inhale, halfway lift. Push those shins away. Flatten that back. Exhale, chaturanga your way. That might be just going into a high plank than a down dog. Otherwise, you can reverse push up. You can do this on your knees. Come up to cobra or upward dog. Then find your way to downward facing dog. Pedal out that dog. Now we're going into a sun B flow. It's going to be some lunges. You can follow any modifications that we presented in the other video. I'll be doing some modifications. Todd will be doing the traditional pose. We're going to inhale that right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it all the way through, low lunge. If your foot doesn't come all the way through, you can take this time to bring it up by your hand. I'm going to go into a kneeling lunge. Todd is in a low lunge, little to no weight on those fingertips in the front. Bringing that belly off of that thigh in the front. Think about a strong line from the crown of your head to your heel or your knee. Staying here for a couple of breaths. Plant that left palm. You're going to do an easy twist. Bring that right hand all the way up. Look to the hand. It'll challenge your balance. You can always look down to the hand that's planted on the ground. A couple of breaths here. As you exhale, you can twist deeper. Your inhale, plant that hand down. Energizer into that foot, that front foot. Easy twist. Now we're going to sweep that arm down beside us, come up to crescent pose. Here I am stacked over my hips, my shoulders are over my hips, straight up and down into crescent. Todd is in that lunge. His shoulders are over his hips as well. Adjusting as needed. Now we're going to come back down. Exhale, hands plant down into that low lunge. We're going to do our chaturanga flow. Reverse push-up all the way down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, that left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, swing it through to low lunge. Again, you can bring that heel up if you need to. I'm going to do a low kneeling low lunge here. Little to no weight on my fingertips. My belly is pulled from my thigh. Strong line from what I have planted into the ground here to the crown of my head. Staying here, breathe those shoulders back. Rib cage is back. I'm going to plant that right hand into the ground. Easy twist, left hand is up. Really forming a straight line. Shoulder stacked on shoulder. Pulling my belly back still to my spine. Exhale, twist deeper, find space. Inhale, power into the ground. Good. I'm going to sweep that left hand down beside me. Coming up to a crescent lunge. I'm in that kneeling lunge again. Todd is in the crescent lunge. Keep those shoulders over those hips. Shoulders roll back and down. Inhale here. Exhale, bring those hands down. Find that high plank. Chaturanga flow. Reverse push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're going to add on to each flow, doing the first three moves and then adding on to them. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Little to no weight on fingertips. We've been here before, so we'll move a little bit faster. Plant that left hand down, easy twist. Right hand comes up. Exhale here, sweep that right hand down by your side, come up to crescent. Checking my notes where we're going from here. Warrior two, so we're going to breathe in, you're going to spiral out. Watch me, I'm doing the kneeling lunge. I'm going to kickstand that leg out to the side. I'm going to get myself in a modified warrior two. Reaching back, the back wall, the front wall in front of me. Gaze is over my fingertips. Shoulders are rolled back. My tailbone is tucked. Shoulders are over my hips. I'm not leaning forward. Think about spiraling that front thigh out, outside of that knee. Really the action just engages those glutes to support you in this. It's hard. Commit to that lunge. We're going to get a little bit of a break here. I'm going to bring myself up to a non-modified pose with Todd in that warrior two. You're going to straighten that front leg. Bring that back leg down. And this is reverse Trikonasana. You have a triangle shape to your legs. You're reaching behind. You're pushing those hips forward. Really breathe into that space. Stay here for a couple of breaths. If this challenges your balance, you can always be by a wall or a chair to help you. You can always bring your stance in so you're not so far apart. Cartwheel those hands down, keeping those straight legs. Push your hips through. You're in Trikonasana here. This is a triangle. It's a symbol of change. Everything's changing right now. There's nothing we can do about it. You're fine. Just be present. Make good decisions. Trikonasana. Pushing those hips forward. Now we're going to spiral those hands back down to that low lunge. You can come back to that kneel if you want to. Meet me in high plank, chaturanga. Reverse push-up, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, that left leg high. We're going to build on this left side. Exhale, low lunge. Step it all the way through. Inhale, you're in that low lunge, staying here. Keep that belly off the thigh. Plant that right hand into the ground, easy twist. Left hand is high. Keep breathing. Sweep that left hand beside you, come up to that crescent pose. Doing good. I'm going to do the modification. We're going to move into warrior two. Kickstand that back leg back to a 45-degree angle from my body. I've got my left hand forward, my right hand back, in a straight line here. Spiral that left thigh out, engaging that glute, tucking it under. My shoulders are over my hips. Staying here, commit to that lunge. I'm going to come up and join Todd in that pose so that we can transition to our reverse Trikonasana. So you're going to straighten that front leg, giving that lunge a break. Breathe into that side body. Bringing that right hand down the right leg. Really reach, breathe into it. Inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel those hands. Just Trikonasana, or triangle shape, pushing our hips through. Symbol of change. We can change too. Inhale here, reaching with that right hand. Exhale, coming back down to that low lunge. Transition to high plank. Chaturanga flow, reverse that push up on your knees or off. Inhale up to cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. All right, last add-on. Here we go, going through it again. You can go slow. You can stop in any pose you want to stay in. Take your time, know your body. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Little to no weight on those fingertips. Peel that belly back. Plant that left hand into the ground. Easy twist. Right hand is up. Breathe into that space. Sweep that right hand down beside you. Coming up to crescent. Shoulders are over those hips. We're going to transition into that warrior two. I've got my kickstand leg helping me with my balance. That thigh is spiraling out. Inhale here. Exhale here. I'm coming up to those triangle legs. We're going to straighten that front leg. Reverse triangle. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Bring those cartwheel, those hands back down. Trikonasana, pushing those hips through. You can look up to your left hand or down to the right. Breathing in, breathe out. We're going to get that warrior leg again in the front. We're going to reverse that warrior. Committing to that lunge. If you need to take a knee in the back to be in a kneeling lunge again, that's fine. You can also come back to reverse Trikonasana if you want. If it's easier on your body, that's fine. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Commit to that lunge. All right, we're going to bring those hands forward. Both hands forward. You're going to pivot that back foot so that the toes are facing forward as well. Your back heel is stacked over that toe. Thunderbolt. You have those hands reaching in front of you, creating a straight line all the way from the fingertips to that back heel. here for a little bit. You're going to push that right hip back, that left hip is forward. This powerful lunge here. The line of energy we're creating with our hands all the way down to the feet, feet back to the hands. We're going to get a little break here. I want you to take a half step in with this back leg into pyramid. So we're going to push that right hip back, left hip is forward as you fall over that front right leg. Get a nice stretch here. You can adjust your legs. You can bring that left foot in, bring it out, way out. Just keep that right hip back, that left hip forward. Hang that head heavy. Forward fold over that front right leg. Enjoy this stretch. Now we're going to get back into our chaturanga in a different way. Just follow me, guys. Here we go. So step that left foot up to meet the right. Here they come together. You're going to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Push those shins away. Exhale, chaturanga your way. Step back to that high plank or your knees are down. Do that negative push-up. Come up to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's get that ladder done on this left side and we'll take a break. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale all the way through low lunge. Inhale here, peel that belly off the thigh. Exhale, plant that right hand down. Lift the left up. Look to the left hand. Exhale, sweep that left hand down and through. Up to crescent pose. Stack those shoulders over those hips. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to transition to that warrior two. I'm still in my kneeling lunge. Todd is up. He's spiraling that left thigh out. Engaging that glute. Good. I'm going to join him in those warrior legs. We're going to straighten that front leg, reverse Trikonasana. Breathe into that space. Exhale, Trikonasana, cartwheel those arms. Push those hips through. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to bend that knee, reverse that warrior, coming back to that lunge. Your right hand is kind of crawling down that right leg, but is not bearing weight onto that right leg. If you want to stay in here, that's fine. Your reverse Trikonasana. All right, we're going to pivot that back leg. We're going to reach forward, coming into that thunderbolt. Toes are forward, heel is over those back toes. Line of energy from the fingertips all the way back to the heel, and the heel all the way back to the fingertips. Feel that line of energy. We're going to get a break here with a nice stretch. Take an inhale here and reach. Exhale, half step up. Behind that left foot, you're going to spiral that left hip back, bring that right hip forward, and fold over that front left leg. You can have a micro bend in that leg if you want. You can bring that right leg back further, up, far, right in the middle, wherever you're comfortable getting that stretch. Just hang heavy over that left leg. Bring that left hip back, right hip forward. As you exhale, fold deeper. Good. Now, follow me. Step that right foot to meet the left. You're going to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga flow your way. Again, you could just go straight into that down dog. We're going to do a reverse push-up here. With or without a modification. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shake it out here. You can sway your hips. Walk that dog. Alternating a bend in your knees. Rock forward, tap those knees. We're gonna give you a nice embryo pose. You're gonna come back onto your heels. If this is intense for you, you can have a blanket in between your hamstrings and your calves to take some of that load off of the heels. But you're gonna rest your forehead on the mat, bring your hands back to your heels and just let those shoulders relax. Staying here for a couple of breaths. Bring your arms out front. Crawl forward a little bit here. We're gonna go into an extension stretch. You're gonna let your chest fall down to the mat. You're gonna keep your hips over your knees. This is also called puppy pose. Just let your chest sink into that mat. Feel the release in your shoulders. Again, if any of this is uncomfortable, you can adjust yourself. Coming back up here to tabletop. We're gonna go into just a small balance series just to engage your balance and to get you mindful of working on your balance here. So we're going to tuck our toes. We're gonna go straight into a down dog from here. We're gonna inhale that right leg high. Exhale all the way through to a low lunge. You're gonna tap that left knee. You're gonna flatten out that left shin. Top of left foot is on the mat. We're gonna reach up. This is an Vinyasa. We're going to actually let ourselves lean forward as we're reaching up. You can get a wider stance here if you don't have good balance. You can also have anything beside you to help you with your balance. But we're gonna push that hip flexor through, engaging that left glute, pushing it through, bringing our arms up. You can do a full surrender here, bringing your arms down if you're tired. A tiny back bend here, just real soft. Good. All right, now we're gonna challenge our balance a little bit. You're gonna come up into a crescent pose. Again, if you need to hold on to something next to you, that's fine. So we've tucked our back toes up to this crescent pose. We're gonna power into this right leg. We're gonna come up into a single leg mountain, single leg Tadasana. Drop those shoulders back. You can bring your hands heart center if your arms are tired. I just want you to think about the single leg balance here. There's a lot of technical poses in yoga that use balance, but if you can just work on single leg balance in your mountain pose, that's a good place to start. Staying here. If you have your arms up, your pinkies are turned in. Coming out of this, you can go back into that crescent pose, trying to transition slowly, or you can bring that foot here, just kind of step it back again. You can come straight down, and you can flatten out that leg. You can come to tabletop. Chaturanga is where we're going with this, so I'm gonna go into my negative push-up, my cobra, and then I'm gonna rock back and exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Other side. Inhale, left leg high. Three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Tap that right knee right away. Flatten out the right shin. Right top of foot. Reach up, Vinyasa. We're actually pushing ourselves forward, getting that hip flexor stretch. The right glute is turned on. Giving us a nice release there. You can do a surrender here with a soft back bend. Challenges the balance a little bit if you close your eyes. You know your limits. Don't hurt yourself. Reach up, back to Vinyasa. We're going to tuck those back toes. We're going to come into a crescent pose. We're going to power into that front left leg. We're going to reach up into single leg Tadasana here on the left side, single leg mountain pose. Balancing. You can also just step up and come into the single leg balance from mountain. Staying here for a couple breaths. Now think about transitioning slowly back to crescent. You can follow Todd. He's gonna bring that right leg back. I'm gonna pause here to get some balance. Step back and then step back again. He's gonna go from a low lunge to his chaturanga. I'm just going to kneel. I'm gonna bring both my hands inside that left leg and then do my negative push-up. Inhale up to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work. Inhale here. Exhale. Rock up to that high plank or your knees on plank. We're gonna spread our knees, big toes to touch. Sink back into that child's pose. I'm gonna bring my hips onto my heels first, and then I'm going to bring my arms out and sink my chest into the mat. Todd's gonna use a blanket for his knees as support. Knees are wide, sinking that torso in between the thighs. Resting here, starting our cool down. Lengthen out your inhales and your exhales. We're gonna rock up to tabletop. We're gonna sit back onto our heels. Again, if this is too intense of a posture for you, you can use the blanket. You can use the blanket on your knees. You can use the blanket behind your hamstrings, between your hamstrings and your calves. You can also use another blanket rolled up, putting it underneath your feet or your ankles if there's any discomfort there. We're gonna get a shoulder stretch in. I'm gonna turn to the side. I'm gonna stretch here. I'm just gonna bring my hands behind my back. I'm gonna puff out my chest. I'm still gonna have my tailbone tucked because I don't wanna cause this huge arch in my back. I wanna support my lower back still so my glutes are still on. But I am bringing my shoulders back, opening up the collarbone. Good. I'm going to bring this fist over into my left side. I'm going to hug the left elbow in. I'm going to bring my right ear to my right shoulder. Come center. I'm going to bring my left ear over to my left shoulder. It's a little bit of a sensation that's different on both sides. Just coming center, going back to the right. Center and back to the left. Remember to keep those shoulders over your hips while you're here. Bring the palms behind you. Now over to the right side of your body. Hug that right elbow in. We're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Come center, right ear to right shoulder. Come center. One more time, both sides. Left to left. Center, right to right. Good. All right, we're going to sit down. Bring our feet out in front of us. We're going to inhale, reach all the way up. You're going to exhale, fold all the way over your legs. You can have a bend in your knees here. If you're just to this point, that's okay. We're going to keep our back straight at first, bringing our chest down to our thighs. That means that you're really trying to squeeze that belly in. The fold is coming from your hips, not from your back. So really think about a hip hinge here as you're bringing your belly down to your thighs. You can bend the knees. Grab onto the feet if you can. Grab onto where you can. You can also work on straightening those out, getting a little bit deeper. Inhale here and exhale. Saying a lot of inhaling and exhaling. If you're like me, you hold your breath when something's challenging. It's good to hear someone to tell me to breathe. Now just try to let it go. You can round out that back. Just kind of hang heavy over those legs if you want. Inhale all the way up. Where are we going from here? Okay, we're going to roll all the way back down the length of your mat. Todd's going to be going that way. I'm going to change my position so that you can see me from a different orientation than Todd. All right. Coming all the way down. We're going to bring that right knee into the right shoulder. Exhale, pull it deeper. Keep that left hip on the ground. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, pull deeper. Inhale here, and on your next exhale, you're going to bring that right leg across your body. Keep your shoulders on the ground. Just let that right knee fall over. You're going to look back behind you. If you want a deeper stretch, you can look at that right hand as you twist. Keep both shoulders on the ground. Exhale, feel that twist. After your next exhale, I want you to inhale and really bring that hip all the way open into the side. Let it open up there, keeping both hips on the ground. Pushing that right knee, not so hard, just gently encouraging it to open. Keep that left hip on the ground. Exhale, straighten it out. Bring that left knee into your armpit. Exhale, pull it deep into the armpit, up to the shoulder. Inhale, release it. Exhale, pull it in. After your next inhale, you're going to pull that knee across the body to the right. I'm much tighter on this side, so my knee's not going to come as far over my body here. But I am going to keep my shoulders on the ground as I look over to my left hand. Exhaling, let it twist deeper. On my next inhale, open up that hip. Let it fall open. Keep that right hip on the ground as you open up both hips. The left one you can encourage with that left hand. Exhale. Left leg meets the right. Inhale here. Exhale, bring both knees to chest. Hug them in. You can even get a tight ball here. Grab onto both feet, going into happy baby. You're going to kick those feet up into the hands. Pull down with your hands. You can rock side to side. Try and keep that lower back on the ground. Feeling that stretch. Feeling that release, opening there. You can bring your legs out into straddle pose, twisting those, or rotating those ankles one way and then the other. Pull both knees into your chest again in a tight ball, as tight as you can get it. And then explode open into a good morning stretch. That means that lower back can actually come up off the mat. Toes are as far away from you as possible. Fingers as well. Relax, coming into your final resting pose. Encourage everyone to just lay in this corpse pose. Palms are up to receive. Down if you want to feel grounding. Taking a few breaths here. When you're ready, you can bring those knees in. Grab the backs of your thighs. Rock gently on the spine. Take a seated position at the top of your mat. We'll seal the practice Hands heart center, bowing your head, really just committing to yourself to just breathe through this. Try to decrease the amount of thoughts that are flying through your mind. Just recognize one at a time. Going on from this movement, hopefully feeling a little more relaxed and just clear-headed. Bring your thumbs up to your forehead, that spot of intuition. That's where your frontal lobe is. That's where we make our decisions, where we're problem solving, where we're observing the world. And just make better choices for yourself, including giving yourself time to breathe and let it go. Namaste, everyone. Thanks for your practice with us. Have a good day.